Sophie.
I'm Laura.
And we are Two Paper Girls.
Today we're going to do our Booktube-A-Thon 2017 TBR. We're really excited.
We're so excited to get all the challenges done and hopefully 7 books. So let's show you our TBR.
So the first challenge is to read a book with a person on the cover, and at first we saw this challenge and we were like, oh my god, covers with people on the front are gross. But I found this gorgeous book called Lost Boy by Christina Henry, and I am so excited for this. It's definitely the one I'm going to pick up first when the Booktube-A-Thon starts, because it's about 300 pages and it's a Peter Pan retelling all about when Hook was a lost boy with Peter and their friendship and how Peter was horrible to him. And I'm just so excited. Like, I read the first sentence, I really like the writing, so this is going to be a really good start to the week.
The book I'm choosing for a person on the cover is Victoria Schwab's The Archive, because this just sounds really good. I read This Savage Song, which was my first V. Schwab book, and I really enjoyed it. And this is about like a library of the dead or something creepy like that. And I remember when we first started Booktube, like 3 years ago almost, Jessie the reader was really excited over this book. And it was when I didn't even know who Victoria Schwab was. So I'm really excited to pick this up.
And the next challenge is read a book that is hyped up on Booktube. And I had quite a lot to pick from, but I decided to go for Amy Rodgers' epic Detour because this is also on my summer TBR. I wanted to finally read some Morgan Matson while it's sunny, even though it's like really gross outside right now. Hopefully it's going to be sunny during the Booktube-A-Thon week, but this just sounds really cute. It's a road trip, it's got mixed media. I think it'll be a really quick, fun read, and I haven't read a romance contemporary since last summer, so hopefully I'm really going to enjoy it.
The next book I'm reading for a hyped book is Patrick Ness' Release, because this is also on my summer TBR, so what more perfect time to read it in the Booktube-A-Thon. Don't really know much what this is about. It sounds really mysterious, which is why I want to get round to reading it, because I want to know all the hype's about, and I want to know what's generally going to happen in this book, because I have no clue.
The next challenge is to read a book about a character that's really different from you, and for this one I've got The Jungle by Poojah Puri, and if you've been watching our videos the past few months, this has been on my TBR every month for about 3 months. I just keep saying I'm going to read it, and I just haven't. But it's about the refugee camp in Calais, and as far as I know it's narrated by a little boy who I think is alone. It might have magical realism, or it might just be like a metaphorical way of writing. I'm not entirely sure, but either way it's really quick, it's really beautiful, and I'm looking forward to just finally getting around to reading it.
The book I chose for a character is very different from it. I don't actually have with me because I bought it off the book depository and I've sent it back to my home, but that is History Is All You've Left Me by Silvera. I chose this book because it's got a main character very different from me. It's a teenage boy who lives in America, who's gay, and whose boyfriend is dead. And that is very different from me, but also very tragic, even though I like to believe I'm tragic. But this, by the by, it's going to be a really good read, and I'm excited to read about someone from a different perspective.
The next challenge is to read a book that you bought because of the cover, and I do have a lot of these, but I also wasn't in the mood for many of them, or they were really big, so I actually struggled with this one, so I decided to go for Simon Armitage's Walking Home, which is a non-fiction book. He's one of my favourite poets, and this is just a non-fiction book about him doing this big long series of walks, I think in the Peak District, and he walks from somewhere to his home, and I just expect it's going to be really nice and poetic and hopefully quick, but it is non-fiction, so I'm not sure. I might end up changing this one, but I'm just really looking forward to it. I've had this on my shelf for a lot of years now, so it'll be nice to finally get round to it.
The book I chose is a really recent buy, and that is One Silver Summer by Rachel Hickman. It's just gorgeous. On the back it's got book buzzwords like Cornwall, summer, sea, princes, horses, dogs, and it looks like an amazing book, and it really reminds me of a book that I really liked when I was a kid, and I'm going to read this one, the first book that I'm going to read, I think, because I'm just really excited to get around to it, and it's really short and it just looks so nice.
The next challenge is to read a book entirely outside, and we don't really like the outside that much. Not for reading, you get bugs on you, you get too hot, and with British weather it's probably going to be raining. So we have both gone for graphic novels. I have gone for Giant Days Volume 3, which I bought specifically for this reason, but I have also really been wanting it for like months. I've just really been wanting to buy this, so this seemed like a good excuse. Hopefully I'll definitely be able to read this outside, and hopefully it's as good as the first 2 volumes.
I chose Paper Girls Volume 1 by Brian K. Vaughan et al. Because our channel title is Two Paper Girls, and this is called Paper Girls, and I'm not sure if like that's copyright. on us. We could compensate this. Yeah, it's written by the same person that wrote Saga, and even though I've never read it, Laura's shown me how weird it is, and I've just had a flick through and it just looks a bit crazy. So I'm expecting it to be a bit odd, but also I'm expecting to enjoy it quite a lot. And I like the fact that it's got all female characters, hopefully. So yeah, I can't wait to read this outside.
The last challenge is to read a book in a day, and we're probably going to do that with just one of these books, so we haven't chosen books specifically for that, so we've both just got 2 more that we're really excited to read. My first one is The Last Family in England by Matt Haig, which you might recognise from Amy reading it, I think last year. It was one of her favourite books of last year because it's Matt Haig and it's dogs. And I was sold. We went to his author signing, I've got it there, and I bought this when I was there because I really wanted to read it and get it signed. And I just read the first sentence and it's like, dogs love to talk, and I'm just sold. And it's actually got big font and floppy pages, so I really think I can get this one done during the week.
The next book I want to read is Extraordinary Me's by Robyn Schnieder, because I read a book by Robyn Schnieder and I loved it. And then Laura bought this one, or I bought this one. I don't know. Yeah, this is Laura's. I don't even know whose book's whose anymore. And apparently it's like Looking for Alaska, but with like teenage cancer, a bit like Tiffio's, like the John Green mix-up, which sounds like right on my street. But I've had this book for so long, borrowed it off Laura, and I just haven't read it yet. So this is the perfect time to get round to it. And I would like to add some contemporary to my list of books in the Booktube-A-Thon this year.
The last book I want to read is I Am the Messenger by Zusak. This is also on my summer TBR, and like Extraordinary Means for Amy, I've borrowed this off Amy for around 2 or 3 years. She really loved it and said it's a really quick read, and I'm not super in the mood for it because I started it once and didn't finish it, but I think if I can just get past where I got to before, I'll really get into it, and hopefully I can finally tick this one off my TBR.
And the last book that I want to read is The Happiness Index by Julie Israel, because everyone's reading this and I can't wait to get to it. It's going to be so good. Oh, I forgot Junniper lemons. But it's going to be really good. Everyone's really hyped about it. It's about grief, which is a lot of my TBR. Yeah. But I'm just excited to read this along with other people because I needed a 7 book that I'm going to be hyped for. So hopefully everyone being excited about it will motivate me to get round to this.
So let us know in the comments if you want any more details about what these books are about. But we are so excited for the Booktube-A-Thon. It's like the best part of being on Booktube in the whole year, and we just can't wait to read all these books.
Let us know down below what you're reading, and we'll see you on Booktube-A-Thon week. Bye!